Good afternoon. My name is Milojević, and I will be presenting on behalf of my colleagues Aleksandra Ugrinić and Kristina Milić. We are from the University of Belgrade, Faculty of Political Science, and I will be talking about media and information literacy needs of the high schools and primary schools teachers. This is a part of the media and information literacy in the Southeast Europe in function of development of critical thinking and public advocacy of the youth within the regional program Dialogue for the Future. So let me briefly begin by outlining what we want to contribute. As we all know, we live in very turbulent times. And there is a lot of talk about generational differences in media literacy, meaning that there are young generations who are used to new ways of learning or acquiring knowledge. They multitask, so they do a lot of parallel tasks at the same time. They are used to visual expression and using visual modes of communication. They're used to nonlinear thinking, and they acquire knowledge through collective actions and through collaborations in online world. So they also learn through trial and error, and this is what the games are based on, and they use a lot of games in their non-formal ways of learning. So there are also other generations which need to acquire a lot of skills and new knowledge to be more proficient users of online environment. And those are also teachers who teach in schools. And they were pushed by COVID-19 pandemic to go online and to engage in online teaching. And many of them were not prepared for that, as well as many schools, and all the educational system was not prepared for that. So we wanted to learn from that experience and to map out the challenges teachers faced and their needs in terms of new knowledge and skills they need to acquire to be more proficient teachers in online environment. So we have asked our participants of the workshop with teachers we have organized within the project I have mentioned at the beginning, and we asked them open-ended questions because we didn't have a lot of participants. We wanted to learn from them and to give them opportunity to tell us in their own words what were the challenges they face and what new skills they need to be more proficient teachers in online environment. So let me briefly describe our respondents. They are mostly female, and they are between 40 and 50 years old, even half of them. Also, they have a lot of work experience, between 10 and 20 years in teaching, and they come from schools from rural and urban parts of our country. Also, they also teach first to fourth grade and teach one subject, meaning they teach biology or geography, so they teach in high schools or they teach in primary schools from 5th to 8th grade. And we have also a gymnasium type of high schools and vocational schools in our sample. So what are the challenges teachers face when teaching online? First of all, they know their students have a lot of problems with access, meaning they don't all have access to internet, so they don't always have their own computer or tablet, and sometimes they have to share with other family members. Also, many students just use mobile phones, and this is not always the best choice for online learning platforms. Also, they know their students are not well motivated, and they feel that they should motivate students more, and they feel that students are not independent in learning. So they need a lot of supervision, and this is burden for their parents. And also they feel that home is not the very best environment for learning because usually children at home just relax and rest, and they don't use this environment for learning. They also face problem of evaluation, so they don't know how to monitor the work of students and how to grade objectively their work. There are also some organizational problems in terms of that they mentioned they are not able to choose the online platform they would prefer to use. There are some subjects that are not good for teaching online, such as music. They have much more working hours and very long screen time. And also they face some kind of communicational problems because they feel the classroom is different than online classroom, because in face-to-face communication, they use nonverbal cues from students to know when they are tired, and they can change it in the dynamics of teaching in such a way, and it is different in online communication. Also, they would like to know how to manage information better and to more easily know what is too much for students, what to send them, and how to give them assignments. In that respect, they would also prefer to be trained in any kind of method or on application or online tool which could be useful for video editing, making educational movies, making animations, for using games for teaching, quiz in teaching. They would love to become more proficient in streaming classes. To know how to make tests, how to make assignments that would engage their students more in the process of learning. And they feel that they should develop more social skills for communication in online meetings platforms and all kinds of learning platforms. Also, teachers find that the different aspects of media and information literacy would be useful for their future work. So they have outlined developing communication skills and presenting skills would be very useful, to get to know how to create their own media, like online journals, how to produce movies, how to use virtual reality, how to work with digital textbooks. Also, managing information, like fact-checking, recognizing trustworthy online sources of information, selecting information both for their students and getting to know to select information online better, how to recognize propaganda, and the basic ethics and ethical behavior in online environment. Altogether, they would like to obtain those knowledge in precise way, so to give practical instruction and practical learning material. Altogether, let me briefly outline few conclusions which can be made based on the answers of teachers. First of all, teachers should be thinking more about themselves as facilitators of learning, and not only in a traditional sense being those who transfer knowledge in linear way. In that respect, all aspects of media and information literacy and transmedia literacy would be very useful to them, because they all talk about access and the use of platforms and applications. They talk about critically understanding media and being able to actively create media content, and to be more able to ethically participate in online environment. All in all, if we want to outline some guidance on what to give to teachers in future education, is how to create media content, how to use games in education as a way to motivate their students, and how to rely more on a visual and visual ways of expressing knowledge, because generations of students are born and raised in visual cultures. And this is the literature we have used for making this presentation. And thank you for your attention. We will be happy to answer all of your questions in the discussion part of this conference. Thank you for listening.